I started learning he's more of like a toddler, you know, not just a younger kid. He's more like a toddler in a adult's body, and he wants to be loved on like a toddler. He wants to be, get me that boy, you know, come here, bud, come here. You better not call 911. Timmy ate that up. He had never had that attention. He never had that dad. He gave coloring books and forgotten on that porch. And that's just the truth. You know, the sad thing is, like I said, I know Betty loves her family. She made some poor choices, and I hope, even with the poor choices she made, I don't know what happens from here, but I hope she gets to see her family at some point. But they don't need to be put in that position like they were last time. They do not need to be involved in money or YouTube or any of that, guys. It's just, Patrick, I'll tell you, man, when I read that this morning about that with BJ, make sure he gives you the whole conversation. I would love to see the whole ring camera footage of when Adult Protection Services showed up yesterday. I'd love to see the whole thing. See if you can get him to post the whole thing. But what happened? I guess it was about a month ago or something. Patrick said he was going to go clean up down at the Whittaker's property. He did that a few times. I give him credit. But he had several people there, and I do believe they were the ones that did the work. Patrick stood back with the camera. And at some point, BJ had a chair that was just tattered. It was horrible. And Patrick just burned it. He wasn't asking them, do you want this or not? And look, I get it. To any of us watching, what he was doing was probably junk, you know? There was a lot of stuff at their house that, to most of us, we'd be like, that's junk. But that's their property. You don't just go in there and say, I'm doing away with this, I'm doing away with this. And then if you do that, it also doesn't help in the future because they have to learn to make choices to let go of that stuff themselves. I've watched hoarders. You got to, hey, can we get rid of this? You know, work with it. And he just went and burned it. And somehow BJ got my number, I'm guessing from Larry. And she called me up, fussing about that chair. He burned my chair. Well, then I hear from Larry. And then I heard from Betty. They were saying, yeah, Patrick burned it. He didn't ask anybody. And I got on the phone with Patrick, and I said, Patrick, go on Marketplace, find something comparable, and get her a new chair. I was like, there's probably someone, even give him one away that was in the same condition. I know you didn't mean anything by it, that it was probably a piece of trash, but you destroyed their property. You can't do that, guy, and you're going to get in trouble. And he would not, when he says he wouldn't placate it, no, he wouldn't. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It needed to be thrown away. And there was a lot of me that agreed with Patrick. It was junk. But you don't go and destroy people's property, guys. You just can't do that. It's wrong. They needed to be taught. And this is not going to happen overnight. You're going to have patience with this. There's going to be many times where it's going to get on your nerves, and it's, you know, it's a process. But they're going to need that one-on-one attention. Hey, this isn't the way to do it. Let me show you a better way. I'd started getting to where Ray wanted to wash his hands every time he was with me when he came out of the bathroom. And for people that wasn't around, that was a big deal. Because Ray didn't do that in the beginning. But he started getting it, and I learned. Ray wanted to do what I did. He wanted to copy me. They need that one-on-one attention to be shown what to do. If you just go in there, raising, this is what's being done, you're not helping them, you know. But I would say to Patrick, man, dude, fess up. If you ever love Timmy, just be honest, man. And look at what it's caused. I don't want to do a YouTube. It's over, dude. It's over. Oh, the grifting, yeah, it's over. That was never my intentions in the first place, guys. I thought this was a good thing from the outside in. A lot of you did too. You thought it was good. By the time I got there, I was knee deep, but I left you guys breadcrumbs the entire way. I went to his family and was trying to reach him. Like, dude, do you realize what you're doing here? You can't spend their money. That's their money. People are sending donations. That's for the Whittakers. I specifically, when I made the contract, guys, and I'll be transparent, I made the contract with them, and I put in there 100% of donated money is to go to the Whittaker family. All donations and all physical donations, like presents and stuff, belong solely to the Whittaker family. I don't think they got any donation money, guys. Who all sent money? There was a reason why I was asking you. If you ever sent money because you didn't send it to me, put it in the chat. It needs to be accounted for. I could never get him to tell me, and I knew there was because I saw the messages. I know of people that sent because they knew my family and thought that I was involved in it and would make sure it went where it was supposed to, and I couldn't even answer them. You know, they sent $100. Good. loving people that were falling for it. And I have no idea how much it is, because I can tell you 10 minutes after I asked for help with the Airbnb, when I say people stepped up, I was like, hey, stop it. I don't want any more money. I knew what comes along with that. But look how long I've been up here, guys. I wasn't prepared to take that hit. And for those of you that helped so I could stay here, thank you. I'll say one last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. For those that said, why don't you ever do anything with anybody but Timmy? Well, I did. Timmy was the easy one. You don't have to watch over him much. When the camera's off, you can be like, oh, just go over there and eat a bologna sandwich. I'm going to go over here and fart around on Facebook. I got to do some videograms. Or answer some messages and get some donations. Ray, Lorraine, they are work. Lorraine, not so much. There's a little work there. Mostly just making sure she doesn't fall and that she knows where she's going. Ray, well, God love him, is work, okay? And he's hands-on. The night after the movies, which I shouldn't be surprised, he ate all that popcorn and drank that Coca-Cola for his first time ever. He tore it up. But as we was coming back, we went through the toll booth and I heard, ugh! And I was just like, oh my God. And I said, did Ray just puke? Larry said, no, he didn't puke. And I said, well, I heard something. That was just a burp. He didn't puke. I was like, are you sure, Larry? No. We get them home and I go to get Ray out of the car, puke all over the back seat of my car and my floorboard on the seat. And I'm out there like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, getting some rubber gloves, and I'm having to clean puke out of my car. It was interesting. So that's work. It's not as easy to take them. Ray is going to use the bathroom anywhere, you know. He needs one-on-one attention, and I think that was work that he just didn't want to do. So that's why I believe. And with Timmy, if I say, oh, I took Timmy to do this, then I can justify I need money to get Timmy here, right? And that's what I started, you know, I told him, I said, dude, he was a kid that sat on the porch for 46 years of his life. He is just happy to be in your presence and spending time. He doesn't have to go to all these places. Read him a book. Teach him how to shave. Be a dad. Be a dad. But no, that's what it became. Or, yeah, why is Timmy in Victoria's Secret? Why are we teaching Timmy how to shoot birds and cuss? It quickly became, well, if I say Timmy wants to do it, then that justifies me saying I need money so that I can go do it. And I realized that very early on. One morning he texts me saying, I'm taking Timmy skydiving. I'm like, what? And I think people, it was the persona. He has a likable character, down-home country boy, good old boy, and man, guys, it just wasn't the first rodeo. Like I said, I knew about the record. I really went out of my way to help the guy. And even now, I don't wish ill will towards him. I hope you get it straightened out, dude. I can't go down for what you've been doing. You see what it's caused. And Betty and Larry, you was about to get a new home. What I don't understand, Mark, Betty and it told me they wanted the protective order. That was why I came up from Georgia. I didn't even budge. Like, as soon as they told me we needed help, I was like, I'm on my way, because I knew Patrick had a broke leg and he couldn't do anything. And I knew Larry was going to pussyfoot around with it because he really didn't want BJ to get in trouble. And once I got there, Betty talked a lot more. And I really thought that Betty was just feeling intimidated by Larry, and that's why all of this was going on. I saw much other later.
But last year, I was all here.
We was all here to help.
Yep, we're all here to get the home built.
Robert Mass didn't want to be on camera. This guy didn't want to be on camera, and believe it or not, guys, this was not the way I wanted to be on camera. I was planning on being on there to do what needed to be done to help the process move along. And I'm just telling you, I wish this was the end of it. I've got so much more. But right now, the focus is on Ray, Lorraine, and Timmy. And I want to get that behind us so it can move forward. When I woke up this morning and saw that about the chair, I was like, here we go. I'm sure there's going to be many more shots taken at me, maybe even some strangers to join in. I have an ex that loves to talk crap about me, always has. You know what? I'm sure a lot of guys and people out there have been in bad relationships and will probably relate. this isn't about anything but what's going on with those three. And I hope we can still build their house, guys. I hope we can still build their house. But I just think it got to the point. There's too many lies and deception. And when you look at Ray sitting in his own feces and urine, I've had to do a lot of, rethinking this whole thing. They're all, him and Lorraine, and then they're always so happy. So you think, it's not optimal, but they're okay. They love each other. They got their own language. It's not okay for them to be doing like that, guys. Betty and Larry knew better. You don't see Betty and Larry living in squalor like that. Yes, no. And she was offered that continuance, that protective order 3 different times. Thank you for trying to make me take the fall. That was how you thanked me when I came up here and did everything that I did. I didn't want any thank yous for that, guys. I was literally the only one that did anything. And again, for tit for tat, if I put out the tit, they need to have a tat. They don't have a tat. So, we're out of here. Yeah, go get a job. And I can promise you, yes, I'm a content creator, but I'm one of the hardest working content creators you will ever see in your life. You can ask this guy, and there's several people that have been with me. I'll run you ragged.
We help you. We actually help.
We help people. We've been doing this for years. Go down my wall, look what's happened. I've been involved in murder cases with dads, with kids. Brian Adams, the burn victim. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, guys. Jeff Younger, I've been fighting against. Which I have to get back on very soon. But my buddy has been fighting for over 7 years now to make sure that his son remains his son. They want to chemically castrate him, chop off his private, and not chop off, chemically castrate, which means it would just rot off. His private would rot off, and then give him estrogen and turn him into a girl. That was one of the big cases that I've been working on for years when nobody else would talk about it. That was one of the cases I was working on, and I started putting all that in the background to come work on this. So I've got very important work to be working on, but I'm not leaving until I know that he's taken care of. I would say, Patrick, go do the right thing, dude. Go do the right thing. It's going to suck regardless. The damage has been done now, but just on up to it. And if you keep making this stuff, I've got all the receipts. I've got the Whittaker's money. It's safe. I've already contacted necessary people and said, I've got it. Hand it over. Whatever. That is their money. You can have my banking account. You can see my apps. You can see everything. I have nothing to hide. Everything I'm saying right now is seen by all of them. You understand that, right? They told Betty. We watched every one of Eric's videos when I was being accused of doing what just happened. It's ironic that because of her choices, she ended up doing what she was accusing me of to herself. In the video, they told you it was because BJ came back around. Guys, she literally sat there and told them about numerous instances of abuse. And then 60 calls, I think, last month to Adult Protection Services. The day she was supposed to be meeting them about getting a caretaker. 8 hours a day to be taken care of with her family. And lots of other resources. She no-showed and went off with Brandon.
Yeah.
And then after that, let BJ come back in. They've got nobody to blame but themselves. So I'm over it for right now. I get heated. I apologize. I'm all over the place like a ping pong ball. My emotions, guys, are all over the book. Thank God I've got good friends here. Because if I was up here but just by myself, I don't know what I would have done. I'm not a very religious guy. I'm not going to lie to you. But I don't know how else to explain it. But God knew I needed this guy. He knew I needed Robert Mast. He knew I needed. It's like me being here even is odd enough. And the Amish, like everything that happened, it was just like ordained. And it's not just been with this case, guys. It's been with numerous things in the past I can't explain. But I think I was here for a reason. And this is not easy to do because this was my everyday, what I do. And it looks like it's going away. And I knew that when I reported it. And I knew when I put that video out with BJ in that camper, this thing is about to fall to pieces. But I'm not here for the soap opera, man. I wanted them to get a new home. We're out. I will be back later on. I've got a lot to talk about, and it's going to be a long one. See you guys.